Hello everyone, welcome to Archimarathon. Today we are checking out one of Andrew's projects by Austin Maynard Architects. It's the Yarra Bend House, I believe. We are in beautiful Clifton Hill. I think it's somewhere around here. I think it's this one. It's quite beautiful. Old terrace.
Hey, I told you to stop coming around.
Wait, what?
I told you to stop coming, stop harassing me. I'm calling the police.
Roll intro! Andrew, we talked about this.
Yeah.
Put that broom down.
All right.
Okay.
No more fighting.
No more fighting. Yeah.
Oh.
Stop. Don't touch me.
Friends.
Don't touch me.
We're friends.
Do you want to explain to the audience what this house is about?
We're getting a lot of older people that want to age in place. What does that mean? They want to actually have a resilient home that they can comfortably grow old in, where as their knees go and as their needs are heightened, they can actually look after themselves and live independently.
Okay. And so why is that important?
Well, aging in place and independent living as you get older is great for you, but also in Australia we've got an absolute problem with aged care. There's been a recent Royal Commission that has just exposed how horrific it is in aged care, how bad it is, how abusive it can be, how terrible the food is, and the staff are all underpaid, and it's a pretty nasty environment. So there's a lot of people that are saying, please, I will just design me something which I can live in until, and I can even have a carer coming in and look after me as well. The challenge for an architect though is when you're dealing with people that are retired, quite often they don't have an income, so therefore the budget they give you is the budget, and you've got this great responsibility to get as much as you can out of that budget. There's no more earning potential, so therefore you can't go into debt. It's difficult to get a loan.
Yeah.
Exactly. The constraints around budget are extraordinary, but you've got to create everything somebody needs for the latter years of their life. The other parts of the brief here were also a super sustainable home, not only because it's the right thing to do, but because that gives you low ongoing running costs. Also means you've probably created a really resilient building that doesn't need as much maintenance. Really important issues for aging in place. But we now have a bunch of people that have exactly the same brief, age in place, and it's great fun.
All right, enough fluffing. Let's go check it out. That way?
No, we're going to go via the back gate because it's interesting this way. Trust me.
Leave the broom. Leave the broom.
God damn it. So the front facade is to the south, and this is a heritage overlay on here. To age in place, you really don't want to have to deal with many steps, but because it's heritage, we can't change the front facade. So we've made it so that it's really easy to access from the rear lane as well, if you're infirmed or in a wheelchair.
Okay.
Which our beautiful client is not at the moment, but it's just future-proofing it.
And it's always actually nicer though, right? Because that's the north facing, so that's facing the sun in southern hemisphere. So you actually arrive at the beautiful extension, really.
Yeah. It's not on the corner, but it's very close to the corner. So that means that getting access to the rear laneway is easy. The context, as you can see next to us, a lot of old corrugated iron sheds. And so we've just stayed with that same language. But the cool thing about this is our beautiful client, like ourselves, sees these laneways we have in Melbourne as shared public space. So she's actually created this great little garden. Isn't it great? A great way of inhabiting and greening what is really lost public space. Do you like that noise?
Not at all.
One of the so a big part of it was the garden was really important to our client. She actually chose to put her laundry out the back, which I think was a great move. So it's like a shed and a laundry. So she's sort of saying, well, that forces me to engage with the garden, which is really cool instead of being stuck inside with these kind of, grubbier functions.
Nice and simple roof. Bit of polycarbonate.
Yeah. Again, really tight budgets are doing the most with very simple materials.
I love those knotty bricks.
Yeah, isn't it cool? We've wanted to do this for years, but some of our clients haven't been up for it. So the idea here was to have north is that way, to have all the sun hitting the facade, and from the building to look through and just see garden, and this becomes, the snotty brick becomes the backdrop to the garden. And then the shed and the laundry and all that mess is hidden behind that. The garden's grown up quite quickly. This is about 1.5 years old, and we're starting to get some creepers coming up the fences. So the fences are getting really beautifully enveloped.
Can you tell us a bit more about the shroud, this thing here?
What's interesting is this looks like a balcony, but it's not. It's serving two main functions. Number one, it's the passive solar eave. So letting lots of low winter sun in to hit the slab, but cutting out all the high summer sun. But it also is to help deal with overlooking. So the legislation here in Victoria means that you're not allowed to see into neighbours' backyards. So that helps protect that. If it was a balcony, you'd be able to stand out here and see right into the neighbour's backyard. So it's not a balcony.
Yeah, because that would just undermine the whole overlooking issue.
Yeah. We've talked about this before, haven't we, Kev?
What?
Thermal mass on the ground, so you get all that sunlight. Oh, look at this episode here about passive solar. So this gets all the heat embedded in it, and it sheds that heat at night time. And it's also got in slab heating too, so warm water running through the slab to keep it a stable temperature through winter. You can see the brick wall at the back there. That's the old part of the house. So we kept the original 2 rooms. Everything from there forward is brand new.
Okay. And this is all just living areas down here?
All living area. So you can see it's a pretty tight block. This is less than 5 meters wide. So a very small block. So that means that we've put everything underneath the stair. So the kitchen wraps around, and you've got things like the TV.
Oh, that slides back.
Yep. So your lounge room is here, but you can get rid of all of that stuff. Got the same thing with the pantry as well. So you've got more kitchen and functional space. You can put your toaster and things like that. There usually is a mess left out on the bench, and that can be hidden there. All of these great storage solutions. So it's an extension of your kitchen, but when you're not using it, you hide it away. And then the concealed fridge as well. So that opens towards the kitchen, so you can easily bring stuff across to where your burners are, and look out into your garden. Our mirrored splashbacks that we often do, but the cool thing about this one is this actually slides. So you've got all your extra storage and things like that. You just grab it really easily.
That's a nice touch.
Nice touch. And some beautiful stone. And then this is where there's the light well that separates the old and the new. And the cool thing about this is we wanted that to feel like it's part of the new space. So we've got it so there's no post on this corner.
The whole corner goes away. I thought there was a post.
Yeah. Well, again, this is Mark Austin's and Catherine Houchin in the office. Brilliant detailing. Like, you want to get rid of this post so that the kitchen spills into this space. That's actually pretty complex, how you get 2 bits of glass to come together and lock together as well.
It's a fly screen as well.
Yeah, so there's a fly screen that comes that way, so you can have fresh air but keep all the bugs out. We're really close to the Yarra River. There's a big park just there and the Yarra River, so you do get a lot of bugs coming around. That's just a great way to control it. And these ones are great. We've often used these sideways rolling ones, which are beautiful, but they're pretty expensive. These concertina ones are great because they close up really tight.
That little window box is quite a beautiful little nook.
Yeah, a new window box and a window seat in the guest bedroom. And that Japanese maple is deciduous. So in winter, that drops all its leaves, so you get much more sunlight coming in there.
And in summertime, it shades.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
And then we added this door as well, because it costs a bomb to bring up the insulation and the specs in an old house. So instead what we've done is made that as well insulated, as thermally protected as possible. And you close that off to separate the two zones.
And often these hallways in old terrace houses are usually pretty dark, so you've added some skylights.
We inherited a skylight.
Oh, okay.
That was here. The guest bedroom and the window seat. So not much has changed in this, not much has changed in this end of the house. And again, budget, but these little moments are just golden. To have a guest bedroom and then be like, hi, bring me a cup of tea. But the rest of it, the cupboards and everything, that was already here. That's the guest bedroom. So we've kept the front two rooms of the original house, but what we've actually done is cut this bedroom into two. So we've put a new wall through, which means that we've brought in a bathroom, which can be used for anybody that's downstairs, but also to service the guest bedroom. That's a new skylight.
I noticed the datum, the green datum seems to be running through the whole scheme.
Yep. And so it's a really functional datum. But what's interesting is every single project goes through costing trauma. What most people want is up here, and the budget they want to spend is there, and the art form is how you get them right. And one of the things we quite often do is say, let's tile a bathroom. And then it becomes a price point where we go, hang on, we can actually use much less tile, use waterproof plasterboard, and save a bit of money. And instead of just deleting it, we turn it into something. So we turn it into where the rail is for the towels, a bit of storage, and also this shelf in the shower as well for all of your stuff.
Filming you in the shower again.
You love it. Do you want me naked or?
Speaking of which, you're really dressed up today.
I'm just dressed. Stop judging my attire. I'm not dressed up, I'm just dressed. Always judging my outfits. And then a study space, so just adding a wall to create a thin study, the original heritage window looking out into the street. And my client has lived in this area for a long time. She's really well connected with the community, so she says it's awesome. She slides this old sash window up, she chats to people and waves, and then sometimes she'll say, oh, I'll bring you a cup of tea, and they sit out the front. So you get this great community space happening right here at the edge of your building.
So this is, if you're coming from the front, your guests will be coming in from the front. This will be the approach. Typical corridor, 2 rooms, and then there's transition.
And this is the same stone that we have out in the backyard. So you come through the original house and you're like, wait, am I outside? Because the same stone's there and there. So it's blurring the boundaries between inside and outside, and then you enter essentially a new building.
And that datum runs through, same materials, same colours. And then it becomes the stairs over there.
Yeah, the same datum runs through, and where all the storage stops, that's where we've treated the last little chunk as though it's part of that same language. So it's green, while the rest of the stairs are timber.
Oh, cute little timber treads. And I guess it wears better as well, because that's almost
right.
like as if something you can replace.
Yeah, this is just a paint finish, so that'll scratch. So we put the timber in there, so it's really hard wearing. So we head up now to my client's sleeping and chill out zone.
But that can be used as the carers in the future if she chooses to live downstairs, right?
That's the big move here for aging in place, Kev. So a lot of people think to age in place, you have to have a lift. You have to go all that expense of having a lift. The way we've designed it is that while our client is fit and able, she's got this big zone upstairs that she can hang out in, big northern aspect and lots of sunlight coming in. But then if she becomes infirmed, she can actually live down in the guest zone and live all on one level with no steps, from the laneway all the way through, and she can actually have a carer live up here. This can become a carer's flat. So aging in place is about not only designing it for now, but also how things will change for you and your health in the future.
It's got quite beautiful proportions. It's like that's a square, there's 2-to-1 ratio, and you've got the beautiful right angle triangle at the top. Yeah, it's very comfortable.
And this is having a balcony without having a balcony. So we've put a handrail balustrade at the edge of the building. So when you slide all that open, this feels like it's an outdoor space without going to all the expense of making that structural area, because that's just aluminium at the moment. And separating this space, where my client also treats this, has a choir coming over. She's got like an amateur choir, and she says the acoustics are great, and they'll sing with that open. But dividing the bedroom and this space is this crate. Guess what's in here, Kev?
Toilet. Bathroom.
So this is her ensuite with these great colours in here. So
hey, I noticed the towel downstairs is the same colour.
Yeah. You can tell she's had fun. And, you know, we work with our clients on colour selection and things like that. So the idea here was that really punchy colours that are not elsewhere are within this hidden crate. So it's like this little hidden place. And she's gone to the point of actually buying stuff that matches. It's cool.
Let's go, Andrew.
You saw all these finger pulls and things like that, so you don't actually, we're not screwing on handles that you can get snagged on, and we've just cut that out.
So this beam here, hang on, there's a sliding door. This is it? Is it hiding behind the panel?
Yeah, so it's just one of the standard panels.
Oh, it's actually the door.
Yeah.
It's not like there's a panel and then there's a door.
No,
Nice.
it's the end of the door. And so that's if, like, her friends come over, her choir to sing, if this is a mess, she can just close it so that they go that way and don't see, you know, her unmade bed or anything like that. Cool, huh?
Nice detail.
And then that's all heritage protected. So that all has to stay that low. And this has been designed to take in the advantage of those valleys. So you get these views, glimpses through to the city and back over to the parks and the river over there.
You get some beautiful rooftops as well. You got some chimney pots. You can see the city in the distance. Beautiful light, bounced light, I guess, from that roof as well.
Yeah, well, that's a really good point, Kev, because that's facing south. So this never gets direct sunlight, but you get this sort of, bounced light, as you say, coming back into the space. My client said that she loves sleeping in bright rooms, so she never has that blacked out. She just wakes with the sun, which I think is pretty beautiful. You got all of the robes in here, and then these hidden panels and storage above. I don't think I've got much else to tell you.
All right, off to the pub.
Yes. Kevin, it's 10 a.m. in the morning.
Sun's up.
It's 12 p.m. somewhere.
It's high noon somewhere in the world.
Yeah.
It's high noon.
Triple kill.
Look at this stuff. Like, this is just the most affordable material. And again, we've just saved a bucket by just giving it a coat of paint and using it for the balustrading. Simple materials used, cleverly.
And so the garden here, looking out, so at the moment it's quite luscious. So I guess if you want it wheelchair accessible, it's just a matter of just cleaning it up a little bit and make it a bit more wheelchair accessible.
Yeah. Like my client's hoping not to be in a wheelchair, but even crutches and things like that. But of course, you can see the crazy paving here. These are just free slabs of stone, but you can infill those to get a clear path through pretty easily.
That's actually quite a beautiful garden. I live here.
You'll live here? Again, another wonderful brief where my client said, can you please make sure I've got plenty of gardens? So that sort of really encouraged us to get a really efficient footprint, so we got as much garden as possible. It's like one of those joyful things where you put in so much effort, and it's a tumultuous thing building a home, and it never goes 100% right. There are always challenges, and to be at the other end, and she's just so thankful for everything we've done. It feels great because most architects bleed for their projects, really do try to make them wonderful.
And it's quite a humble project too. It doesn't feel like over the top kind of signature. I mean, that obviously has AMA's signature all over it, but there's a certain simplicity to the spaces, but there's just attention to details that makes it special as opposed to an overly expressive kind of response.
Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Do you like it? Do you like our Yarra Bend house? Leave a comment.
It's not about what they like,
What's it about?
it's about what the client likes.
Well, she hates it, so.
It's a pity. I'll take it.
Kept sold.
Mm.
I'll break that to our client. I'm sorry, but Kevin lives here now.